from down here, the bottom, the Magic City, Miami. Other fans can't do it like we do it. Our nation is united by a love of city and team. And this time of year is our national holiday. So clear the beaches, clear the domino tables, clear the schoolyards, clear your calendars. This is all hands on deck. This is a call to arms. I want y'all to dust off your whitest whites, your lucky shirt, your linen pants, your tallest heels, and meet us downtown. Cause it's going down, center court, at the Heat's house. Cause it's looking like a whole city's got our back. 305-954-561. Cause now, they're messing with a nation of millions. Got it.
And game one, featuring the Charlotte Hornets and your Miami Heat. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Hornets, number 5, Nicholas Batum. Number 2, Marvin Williams. Number 40, Cody Zeller. Number 1, Courtney Lee. And number 15, Kemba Walker. The head coach of the Hornets is Steve Clifford. Number 2, Joe Johnson. Number 21, Hassan Whiteside. Number 7, Goran Dragic. And number 3, Dwayne Wade, your Miami Heat. The head coach of the Miami Heat.
I love basketball. This game is so exciting. Oh, my goodness. Where did he come from? Oh, he just do not go in there. Richardson, flew through the air. Two-hand jab. That was sensational.
Miami on a Sunday night. It is the NBA playoffs on TNT. After a one-year absence, the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets are back in the postseason. This is first-round action from the Eastern Conference best-of-7 series. American Airlines Arena, Charlotte and Miami. A look at the East. Cleveland up 1-0. Atlanta's got the advantage on Boston. Indiana getting the win on the road in Toronto. And welcome courtside, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Brent Barry. Rebecca Harlow joins us as well. A complete logjam in the East, 3 through 6. This easily could have been Charlotte hosting Miami, but instead it's the Heat, the home team, against the Hornets. We check out the starting lineups for Charlotte. They finished with the identical record of 48-34. Walker, Lee, Zeller, Williams, and Batum. Miami, Dragic, Wade, Whiteside, Johnson, and Luol Deng. A couple of keys you're looking for here, including the man in the middle, Hassan Whiteside.
Well, look at the contrast in styles from the perimeter-oriented Charlotte Hornets to the paint-protecting and paint-scoring Miami Heat. Hassan Whiteside back in the starting lineup for Eric Spoelstra to begin their 2016 playoff run.
Whiteside, rim protector, led the NBA in block shots this season, getting his first taste of the NBA playoffs. Veteran crew, Ken Maurer, Sean Corbin, and Ed Malloy, the officiating crew. We're underway in Miami, and the Heat control the tip. This is the 3-6 matchup in the Eastern Conference. They split the season series at 2-2. Charlotte did get a win here in Miami in the last meeting of the season. Deng starting at that 4 spot, and he has been reborn. A triple to open things up for Luol Deng.
Nice comfortable rotation of the ball, and Luol Deng gets things started from the corner.
Batum gives it up. Zeller, a foul call. Joe Johnson underneath will pick it up. He was bought out by the Brooklyn Nets, and Johnson has been the perfect fit for this Miami squad.
Get on the switch there. Joe swinging the ball quickly, and not enough for Courtney Lee to get out from the hole on the block to challenge that shot from Luol Deng.
So Cody Zeller starts in his 3rd year in the NBA out of Indiana. Al Jefferson comes off the bench. He's accepted that role, but you'll see Jefferson getting the lion's share of the minutes in the middle.
One great thing about Cody Zeller is that every year with the opportunity that he has, knowing that Al Jefferson's behind him, is that he's improved his scoring and his shooting percentage with the minutes he's been given.
Brings mobility to that position. Jefferson, a different kind of player. Spencer Hawes is also an option up front, and Frank Kaminsky, the rookie out of Wisconsin. Charlotte's on the board, 3-1 Miami. Johnson gives it up to Dragic. Post-up opportunity. Wade, left hand. Doesn't go, and the rebound ripped down by Williams. A new career high in rebounding for Marvin Williams at 6.4 per game. Kemba Walker has played at an all-star level for Charlotte. Off the zigzag, nearly gives it up. The ball was tipped. Plenty of time on the shot clock here. Walker, the stutter step. Trying to get it to Zeller. It's out of bounds with 5 to shoot.
That's where Whiteside is going to be. Any pick and roll with Zeller. He knows he's going to be on the roll, so he has a chance to back up and collect the penetration from Kemba Walker and to try to make those plays around the rim.
So the matchup, Zeller and Whiteside on the inside. Williams fires way off. It's rebounded by Johnson, his former teammate in Atlanta. Dragic picked up by Walker. Miami with a 3-1 lead on Charlotte. Heat in the playoffs for the 7th time in the last 8 years. Dragic, 6 to shoot. Swings it inside. Whiteside a spin and lays it in. Hassan Whiteside with a power deuce. It's a 5-1 advantage for Miami. Courtney Lee, late season pickup, gets to the rim and misses off the back of the iron. 2 minutes going by in this first quarter. Dragic outside for Johnson. Off the double team, lobs it upstairs. Whiteside denied, and a foul called. Help from Courtney Lee, who was looking for a jump ball.
It's really the problem. And anytime that they come with a screen on Whiteside and he's rolling to the basket, if Zeller is a big, stays a little long, that means a small perimeter player for the Hornets has to go inside and dig on the big fella. You have ample room to throw the ball over the top and gain an advantage.
Steve Clifford got Charlotte to the playoffs 2 years ago. They were swept by Miami. That was LeBron James and the Miami Heat. Whiteside knocks down the first. Time for the keys to the game, presented by the Audi A4.
When you look at these things, these are more not so for game one, but maybe the entirety of the series as to how Charlotte's going to get impact from their two bench guys in Jefferson and Lynn, and also protect the paint against what Miami brings to it. And then for Charlotte themselves, can they find that three-point line and success in the first round of the playoffs?
7-1 lead for the Heat as Whiteside hits on a pair. Dang with a steal, looking for the angle, gives it up. Dragic, he's fouled. Free throws coming for Goran Dragic. Marvin Williams, the last line of defense for Charlotte.
Some show of versatility here with Dang on the weak side guarding the four. He's not worried about Zeller on the roll, so he steps into that passing lane and then delivers a nice one to Dragic on the break.
Miami went 19-10 without Chris Bosh. That's post All-Star break. Bosh, blood clots in his calf. And they changed their style, Brent.
Yep.
Drastically.
Yep.
Eric Spoelstra said, hey, we weren't completely sure it was going to work, but we knew that Dragic was going to get more responsibility.
Well, we looked through mountains of paperwork in preparation for the playoffs, and the one thing that you and I both saw is this stat about going from 96 points to 107 points in the second half of the season, 5th largest increase in NBA history. So, yeah, this is a new team.
Nicholas Batum is fouled. Joe Johnson called for it, and that's number 2 on the veteran Johnson. So that will force Eric Spoelstra's hand here early, 9:32 to play in the first quarter. Nicholas Batum at the free throw line. You talk about a difference maker. Batum with Charlotte. With Justice Winslow checking in now for Miami. 3 free throws here for Batum. Comes over in the deal with Portland. Puts together his best season of his career in a free agent year. Here's the talented rookie Winslow, and Batum had a triple-double against Miami back in December.
I think his addition to this ball club has just meant the world of difference to guys like Kemba Walker in order to get some more space, and how he complements the way that Courtney Lee plays. He's a great passer of the basketball and moves and plays unselfish. He's been a huge impact for them this year.
Dragic squeezes it through to Dwayne Wade. And Miami out to an 11-3 advantage. They'll run the offense through Batum at times. And now Walker gets a touch. Walker lines it up. Bottom, a 3.
Charlotte needing a bucket there and turning to their leader, number 15, Kemba Walker, stepping up for 3.
Charlotte averaged 103.4 points per game. Better than 9-point improvement from last year. Dragic with the up fake, he's fouled. Kemba Walker is grabbing at his chest after the contact. So 2 more free throws here for Miami. It'll be Dragic at the line where he shoots it at 73%. Goran Dragic got a taste of the playoffs with Phoenix, was not a starter at that point for the Suns. But that's it. 1 playoff series in his career. For NBA playoff scores, stats, and video highlights, download the new NBA app, the official free app of the NBA. Charlotte has committed 3 fouls early, all shooting fouls. And Miami's taken advantage at the free throw line. Jefferson hasn't played yet, and they're working on the right leg of Al Jefferson. Remember, Jefferson missed a big chunk of the season after a torn meniscus in his right knee in December. Batum catching fire. Book it. It's a 3. Nicholas Batum from long range.
Tough to guard there, but a nice screen from Marvin Williams way out in the perimeter, and Winslow late.
Batum averages 12 points per game on the road, 17.5 at home for the Hornets. Dragic, the pull-up, doesn't go. Rebounded by Zeller. 13-9, Miami in front. Just about 4 minutes gone by in the first. Quick ball movement from Charlotte. We've seen it throughout the season. Walker kick out for Lee. With a stutter step, Zeller stripped to the ball, and it's out of bounds. He's taken a spill on a couple of occasions already in this opening quarter.
Pretty good hands down low as Zeller was sneaking along the baseline. And Charlotte will retain possession. Good activity from the Miami defense. See Lee getting in there on the penetration. And trust me, if you're a guard, you're going in and you're always thinking about where Whiteside is. And he gets a block below the belt.
3.7 blocks per game to lead the NBA this season. Lee, shot clock winding down, has to create on his own with a bank shot. Courtney Lee into the bag of tricks. It's a 2-point game. Lee has really solidified that two-guard position. Steve Clifford went on and on in our pregame chat as Lee just does not make mistakes.
He had him in Orlando during the finals and knows he's played big games in Memphis. He comes in and gives you just solid effort, solid performance, a pro's pro.
Both teams 3 out of 5 from the field, but Miami is 6 of 6 at the free throw line. Post-up opportunity, the turnaround for Dang, and he cans it.
So you see Dang open up the game with a 3, get a steal on the defensive end, now down on the block, speaks to his versatility.
Walker using the Williams screen, there's a switch. That means Dang is guarding Kemba Walker. Batum, tough shot, air ball, out of bounds. Nicholas Batum acquired in that deal with Portland for Gerald Henderson and Noah Vonleh. He's been a catalyst for this squad. He's wrapping up a 4-year, $46 million deal. Drive and kick. Winslow, the jumper. Whiteside, the tip-in. That wingspan is 7'7", and it's tough to handle on the interior. 17-11 Miami. Paint points, 8-2. Heat. Walker to Williams. Hard to the hole, layup, no call. Wade, the quick outlet. Dragic takes it to the hoop for 2. Largest lead for Miami is 8. They have not trailed in this opening quarter. Walker against Dragic. Williams fires, no. Rebounded by Whiteside. One and done for the Hornets. They can bring the lead to double figures. Wade all the way, it rims out. Cleared by Zeller. Charlotte 4th in the NBA in 3-pointers made and attempted. Wade called for the foul against Williams. Miami 6 of 10 from the field. They've made all of their free throws. They've got a 19-11 lead. Game 1 underway.
By 8, and welcome down to the sideline, everybody. I'm Rebecca Harlow. Now, Chris Bosh was hoping to make another playoff run, but it's looking less and less likely on Friday. Dwayne Wade alluding to the fact that he's most likely out for the duration of the postseason here. This after Bosh gave an emotional speech to his teammates with the message, play every game like it's your last because you truly never know when that day may come. Wade tells me that the words made an impact, saying this is the time of year when you're supposed to feel the most alive, and he can't be a part of it, and that's really hard. I and Brent, the Heat have gone 19-10 without Bosh, but he's been involved every step of the way with multiple players telling me that he's turned into another great coach on the bench, guys.
No doubt. He's had a huge influence on Hassan Whiteside. You can throw Juwan Howard into that mix, assistant coach. Alonzo Mourning behind the scenes as well, as Batum scores after the timeout for Charlotte.
53 games for Bosh this year. He was leading the team in scoring at 19.1 points, and certainly having him here is going to impact this team in some way or another.
Whiteside with a two-handed throwdown. 8 points in his NBA playoff debut in this opening quarter. Hassan Whiteside gives Miami a 21-13 lead. Al Jefferson is in for Charlotte, the 12-year veteran. Jefferson against Whiteside. Working the baseline. Winslow, outstanding defensive player, anticipates and steps in for the steal. Winslow mature beyond his years. He's just 20 years old. Wade gives it up. Whiteside again.
Again, Miami spreading the floor, and Dwayne Wade finding an angle right there to get that one to Whiteside. And he shows a little bit of his touch after the monster jam, gets the jump hook to go.
10 points now for Whiteside. Walker on a fadeaway. Jeremy Lin is also in the game for Charlotte, or he's getting ready to check in as Steve Clifford just sent him out to the scoring table. Rookie Josh Richardson out of Tennessee. He's seen more playing time over the last month and a half of the season. He was the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month in March. Richardson against Walker. Catch and shoot. Dang. That's a three. Luol Deng.
He'd shoot it well from their eye, and they're about 39% from corner threes. They're only 12th in the league in getting them, but they are effective there.
It's an 11-point cushion for Miami. They put up 26 points with 3:40 to go in the first. But too strong. Whiteside the board. Amari Stoudemire getting ready to check in for Miami. 3.5 remaining in the first. Wade with a fadeaway. Winslow tracks it down, and it's a reload for the Heat. Whiteside is 4 of 4. Dang is 3 of 3. Back in. Wade, the push shot over Lee. Extends the Miami lead to 13.
No, and this might be the Dwayne Wade that Miami needs in the playoffs. So many guys can do effective things on the break if he picks and chooses when it is that he can impact the game. And trust me, with that kind of experience, he knows when to do it. Dwayne Wade, a huge part of what Miami's going to be about in the postseason. This time over Courtney Lee, and Miami with the lead early.
South Florida will be the host once again for Game 2 of this series. That'll be coming up on Wednesday night. You can check out the action on NBA TV. And then Game 3, TNT has got you covered Saturday, 5:30 tip in Charlotte. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. What's not happening early here for Steve Clifford and the Hornets?
Well, I think Miami's just done a great job of sealing off anything that the Hornets are trying to do. 2 of 5 so far from the three-point line, but nothing that's penetrating or putting them in jeopardy to the interior. And then on the other end, Miami, 7 assists, no turnovers, shooting a blistering 67%. So a great start here at home for the Heat.
It's a 15-4 extended run for Miami. Walker sets it up. Jefferson in and out. Frank Kaminsky is in, trying to track it down. He throws it right to Richardson. So Lin and Kaminsky now on the floor for Charlotte. Corner pop. Luol Deng is on target.
A great job by the Heat to find the last guy back on defense. Kaminsky, after the turnover, has to track someone down, and he couldn't get to Deng in time.
Deng and Whiteside a combined 8 of 8. They've got 21 points between the two of them. Batum to Lin. Jeremy Lin trying to shield off the defender Deng. Kaminsky, 2-man game with Lin. Contact. Offensive foul. It's going the other way.
What is it that Luol Deng has not done for you, Ian Eagle, in the first quarter? He's like Brown. He's a UPS guy. He's hitting threes. He's getting steals. He's taking charges. This speaks again to the versatility he has, and this kind of lineup for Erik Spoelstra with that pace offense he's talking about. Each one of these guys, after a rebound, can push the ball up the floor, spread the court, and then find angles to attack.
Since moving to the 4 spot, Deng averaging 15.5 points and 8 rebounds per game. Stoudemire sets the screen. Turnover. And the first one of the night for Miami. Batum right to the middle of the floor, flips it up. Doesn't get the roll. Foul was called. 2 free throws for Nicholas Batum.
This is where I was interested in the series for Erik Spoelstra, starting Hassan Whiteside, who he was going to go to as his backup big, and the big matchup with Al Jefferson down on the block. Were you going to play Stoudemire down there defensively? Would Haslam get some minutes, although he has that plantar fascia issue, Udonis Haslam? But how much hay can the Charlotte Hornets bench make with the lineup that Miami has out here to defend Al Jefferson as the big?
Nicholas Batum off year last season, his final year with Portland, now in his 8th year in the NBA. 9 points for Batum. He's the high scorer for Charlotte. Walker, the next highest scorer, with 5. Dragic in a matchup with Lin. Dragic lines it up. Stoudemire, the offensive rebound. Dang down the middle. Easy bucket and the foul.
Why not? He hadn't done that one yet. Just great activity on the offensive end for the Miami Heat. Dang finding a lane, getting through the middle there, and nobody at the rim to protect.
13 points, 5 of 5 from the field. In a little more than 10 minutes of action for Luol Deng. Joe Johnson on the bench with 2 fouls. And Deng has picked up the slack. 14 now for Deng. It's 34-17 Miami. Len is fouled. A push. It will be Justice Winslow picking it up with a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. Jeremy Lin to the free throw line, where he shoots it at 81%. The rebounding numbers, all Miami. 10-3 Heat against the best defensive rebounding team in the NBA. Bounce back year for Jeremy Lin, 11.7 points per game.
Also for Jeremy, career low in turnovers, 1.94 turnovers per game, but a lot of that has to do with Kemba Walker handling the ball, making more decisions along with Nicholas Batum.
Stoudemire breaks through for the deuce. Miami has doubled up Charlotte here in the first quarter. 5 assists now for Goran Dragic. Walker, keep it on the outside for Lee. Not a lot of ball movement, which is something Charlotte made a living on this season. Jefferson fouled by Stoudemire.
Dragic doing a great job setting up this pick and roll opportunity. Al Jefferson caught no man's land, and again, when a small comes over on a big like that, there's very little chance for you to challenge him at the rim, and Amare able to finish that one off.
So Jefferson will shoot a pair, 65% shooter, one of the captains of this team. 47 games this year, 18 starts. Against the Heat, averaged 19 points and 7.5 rebounds.
We looked at the numbers with regards to Al Jefferson being in the lineup. This team 33-14 when Al Jefferson suits it up, 15-20 without. So a huge part of Steve Clifford and what the Hornets are, especially the bench unit.
Under a minute to go now in the first. 36-20. Richardson. Boy, he's been shooting it well. Richardson with a triple. Shooting it at 46% from downtown.
Remember we talked in the pregame about how good Miami was at shooting the 3-iron? No, we didn't talk about that.
No, that didn't come up, Brent.
But they're doing it so far, kind of giving the Hornets a taste of their own medicine. On the weak side here, you see Kemba Walker was in the middle of the lane, and anytime the ball is rotating, if you don't get out with your first 2 steps being the fastest and strongest steps to get out in rotation, there's no way to get a shooter on the weak side and challenge him. So Richardson knocks that one down.
Richardson called for the foul. Walker will shoot 2. Miami, the second highest percentage of points on 2-point field goals in the NBA this season, 65%. Only Milwaukee had a higher percentage of points from 2-point territory. Yet the Heat are 4 out of 5 from 3-point range. They are 14 of 20 overall. That's 70% in the opening quarter. They have a chance to crack 40 points. And they do. Dragic goes all the way. It's 41-22 Heat.
That just can't happen there. Defender Lin, I think, looked off as Dragic was coming off the court, and he took it right down the middle of the lane for a layup.
Charlotte shooting it at 38%. 6.5 second difference. Shot clock to game clock. Walker a three. And it's rebounded by Dang. 7 seconds to go. Dragic with 5. Defended by Lin. High screen Stoudemire. Dragic. No good. And that's the end of the first quarter. Miami with an assault. They lead Charlotte 41-22 after 1 in game 1 of this opening round best of 7 series. The NBA playoffs on TNT. Coming back with more. 1-22, Miami in front of Charlotte. That man has a very close relationship with the Seagulls here in South Florida.
Ian, doesn't Coach Vitello have a home down here?
He does. Is that the czar? Moments ago, Rebecca Harlow caught up with Steve Clifford, head coach of the Hornets.
All right, Coach, Miami's shooting 71% here. What can you tweak defensively when they're hitting shots inside and out?
Well, they got everything they wanted. I mean, our pick and roll defense and things that we got to do to keep the ball in the paint, we didn't do well at all, mostly on our coverages. And then just too many mistakes. Closing short to Dang, letting Dragic get away. We got to do better with that.
On the flip side, you like to describe your three ball as inside-out threes. How can you get some more penetration here to open up things offensively?
I didn't think our shots were that bad. We had a couple bad turnovers. We can't let our defense affect our offense. We got to keep going to the basket.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys.
And on cue, Rebecca, Batum gets the bucket and the foul to cut into the Miami lead. 41-25. Winslow picks up his second personal. Batum with 12 of Charlotte's 25 points. Stoudemire against Jefferson. Veterans going head-to-head. 5 to shoot. Dragic using the Stoudemire screen. Lin gets a piece of it. Richardson off the back of the iron, and Jefferson clears for the Hornets.
And this, if you're a Charlotte Hornet fan, this is one you want to see. Multiple stops in a row, good execution on offense. Put the pressure back on Miami, if at all.
Lin kicks it out. Lee, an open look. Short. Kaminsky, the back tap, but Richardson is there. 41 points in the first quarter equals Miami's franchise playoff best ever quarter. Winslow at Kaminsky. Duke beat Wisconsin in the NCAA championship game last year. And Winslow just took it at Kaminsky here in game 1 of the NBA playoffs between those two. Lin on a fade. Off the rim. Johnson back in there playing with the 2 fouls. Johnson trying to get it to Stoudemire, and it's deflected, a turnover. Two-man game, Lee and Kaminsky. Jefferson fouled by Stoudemire. It's number 2 on Amari Stoudemire.
Back to Winslow on Kaminsky there. Obviously an advantage on the quickness side of things, and makes a beautiful move using that strong left hand with the finish. I love that you talked about Winslow's maturity. And Chris Bosh said something that I thought was hilarious. He said, he's the oldest rookie I know, which is not true, because Prigioni was the oldest rookie in the league. Yeah. But secondly, he said he's got the body of one of my uncles.
Whoa, is that a nice thing or no?
I thought that was complimentary. If you've seen Chris Bosh's uncle, they've got to be in tremendous shape.
Jump shot. Oh, the banker. Batum for 3. I'm assuming that Chris Bosh's uncle is an Adonis if he's making those kind of statements, because Winslow's well put together. 15 for Batum. Johnson against Batum. High screen from Whiteside. Ball movement. Whiteside doesn't go. Tracked down by Lee. 15-point lead for Miami. Largest lead has been 19. Lee takes it with a left hand. No. Tip-in doesn't go for Jefferson. Winslow. Oh, the Euro step. Justice Winslow. Pretty move.
Justice has a guy on his team that's made a living off of that move by the name of Dwayne Wade. Brilliant sidestep to get to the rim that time. Batum
catch and shoot. Missed it long. And Richardson will slow it down here for Miami. Dragic continues to put pressure on the defense. The flip knocks it away from Kaminsky, and it's out of bounds. We'll get a timeout with 8:58 to play in this first half.
Winslow on the break, a little shimmy around Frank Kaminsky for the second time scoring on Kaminsky, in Miami still comfortably ahead.
In half of the season, we switched it up a little bit when Chris went down, or when Chris got the news that he's not able to play. We started playing small game. I moved to the 4, and we started running a lot more. Our attempts, shot attempts for a game went up, so everybody's field goal and average went up.
It was interesting after making that switch. We talked to Eric Spoelstra before the game, and he pointed to a game where there was no Dwayne Wade, no Hassan Whiteside, and obviously no Bosh. It was the first game that they played in Atlanta. They won 115 to 111.
Yep.
Luol Deng had 30 points, 11 rebounds, and everybody said, yeah, we might be able to do this.
Yeah, this might actually work.
Well, there's a huge confidence builder that they were capable with their talent to make this change midway through the season. They've done a remarkable job.
Out of the timeout, shot clock is down to 3. Lynn drives in and scores. 45 to 30, Miami. Heat won 28 and 13 at home. They won 10 of their last 11 here at American Airlines Arena. Richardson now a big part of the rotation, sets it up. We got ISO Joe. Joe Johnson on a fadeaway.
Remember the first couple sets of the game, they had put Joe Johnson in the post with a screen from Whiteside, so they've been looking to get him going a little bit. The foul trouble took him out. Finally, Joe on the board.
First 2 of the night for Joe Johnson. They clear the area for Jefferson. One-on-one, Whiteside took a swipe and a foul call. So Jefferson back to the free throw line. Whiteside picks up the personal. It's the 3rd team foul against Miami at the 7:54 mark of the second quarter. Charlotte is 11 of 14 at the line. Miami is 7 of 7. We asked Steve Clifford about Al Jefferson accepting his role as Troy Daniels checks in. He said it was not an issue. He's very team-oriented, and the reality was he wasn't ready physically after the injury to handle all of the minutes that comes with being a starter. And they've liked him in that second group. And also the fact of the matter is Cody Zeller earned it.
Yeah, and they had a great rhythm offensively with Cody Zeller starting, and Al Jefferson could use his abilities against the team's second unit.
Kaminsky, contact, and a blocking foul. Charlotte very fortunate. It's Winslow who took the hit, and that'll be number 3 on Justice Winslow.
We'll have to go overhead here to see if Winslow did sneak into the restricted area, and definitely his heels inside the circle there, so the referee making the proper call on the block.
So Luol Deng and Dwayne Wade pop off the bench. Frank Kaminsky at the free throw line, where he shoots it at 73%. Missed the first one badly. Here's Deng and Wade. Winslow and Dragic will sit for the Heat. Winslow exits with 4 points in 14 minutes. Dragic 8 points, 6 assists.
Great minutes from Dragic to get this team off and running, and now an interesting lineup from the Miami Heat as they're going to have Richardson play de facto point guard, which he did his last year in Tennessee. So him and Wade with ball handling duties here in the second quarter.
He had a couple of starts late in the season with a Dragic injury. Dwayne Wade, tough angle.
And you know that's where Miami's going to go there. Joe Johnson on the post. Yes, that works. Deng on the post. That works. And certainly with Lynn guarding Wade, that post-up works.
Isolation for Jefferson against Whiteside, 10 to shoot. The back end. Jefferson got a bump, and he draws the foul on Whiteside.
And this is the kind of thing that if you're a Charlotte member of the coaching staff of the team that you thought, yeah, Al Jefferson is crafty down on the block. He's going to use ball fakes. Maybe there's a way we can get to Whiteside where we just go at him and play a guts type of player. And that's what Al is. He gets into the body. He uses the fakes. and now is finding himself at the free throw line.
Charlotte will have 20 free throw attempts after Jefferson's second. NBAtickets.com, the official source for all NBA playoff tickets. Start your search now at NBAtickets.com, where tickets are always authentic and always available.
So now Whiteside goes out of the game. Amari Stoudemire comes in, and this should just open up the eyes of Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lin, Nicola Batum, anybody that's on the floor as a guard to penetrate inside, get into the lane. So as Kemba sits over there, maybe Steve Clifford puts him back in with Amari in, and we're going right at him.
Jefferson now 5 out of 6 of the free throw line. Whiteside 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 fouls. Richardson sets it up for Wade against Lin. The spin. Dwayne Wade making it look easy. Too strong for Jeremy Lin to handle down low.
Well, this timeout is going to be a conversation for Steve Clifford about that man right there, Dwayne Wade, and about possibly a coverage change when we come back from the commercial break. Jeremy Lin having some problems taking care of number 3 down on the block. A beautiful spin move and 2 more for the Miami Heat.
The efficiency of Eric Spoelstra's offense in this first half. 51 points on 67% shooting, 4 out of 6 from three-point territory, spreading it around and limiting the turnovers, just 3 in the first half. So the timeout taken. Daniels, Lin, Batum, Kaminsky, and Jefferson, the 5 on the floor for Charlotte. Batum, tough shot.
Batum has made some big baskets out of timeouts for the Hornets just to have some feel-good points put up on the board. But again, it's about multiple stops, stacking up your defensive presence against the Heat.
17 now for Batum. Walker getting ready to check in, along with Zeller, and a foul called underneath. Luol Deng continues to make things happen for Miami. That's Kaminsky picking up his second foul. Deng has 14 points. He'll shoot a pair. Miami averaged 46.5 points in the paint this season, good for 4th in the league. But after the All-Star break, 52.8, number 1 in the league, and that goes part and parcel with what Luol Deng has done since the break.
Yeah, the remarkable number to me is the rebound number. For him to be that aggressive, to go in and sacrifice his body, to start to understand the defensive rotations, to be in those spots as a 4-man, a position he's not used to playing, and grabbing 8 boards. Remarkable second half of the year for Luol Deng.
He continues to fill up the stat sheet here. 16 points for Deng. He has not missed. Also has 3 rebounds.
Zeller took one right there. Richardson stabbing at the ball. Got a big piece of Cody Zeller in the face.
Foul called by Ed Malloy on the outside. And Miami is over the limit. Free throws coming for Cody Zeller if he can see. 75% on the season.
See, running a little pinch post action here, and Richardson trying to make a stab at the ball and clearly hits Zeller right in the face.
Got him in the left eye. Cody Zeller. It's good. How about Marvin Williams? Just 9 minutes for Williams. He's back on the floor now. He has not scored. 0 of 3. Kaminsky will sit. 9 minutes for Kaminsky. No field goal attempts. 2 fouls. Zeller knocks down a pair.
With Miami playing smaller, Ian, you have to think for Marvin Williams, it's going to be Charlotte having to get into the lane to throw balls back out to him at the three-point line, because the coverage is going to be Deng on him. It's going to be very little room for him to operate on the perimeter above the break.
Joe Johnson just knows how to score. (55-37) Miami. Kemba Walker's been limited. 7 points, 2 of 3 from the field. Lynn against Johnson, takes him off the dribble. Nice fake, and he's fouled. Jeremy Lin going to the free throw line, and Joe Johnson has picked up his 3rd personal.
Just a vital 5:27 here for the Hornets to find some confidence. And again, without Whiteside in the lineup for Miami, it has got to be downhill and attack and get into the lane. And then once they get Miami to collapse, maybe they can find the three-point shooting, which is such a huge part of their game.
Joe Johnson will sit. Goran Dragic will check back in. 8 points and 6 assists for Dragic. Johnson 4 points in 9 minutes. Johnson was considering the Cleveland Cavaliers after the buyout from Brooklyn. Elected to go with Miami, and you get the sense that this could be a long-term relationship.
The interesting thing that Spo said to us before the game was that during that 10-game stretch without Chris Bosh, Joe Johnson was considering his options between Cleveland and Miami, and maybe their change of style opened up his eyes that that might be something I'd like to do.
Stoudemire gives it up for Wade. 10 to shoot. Wade accelerates on Batum. Missed it on the inside. Stoudemire knocks it over to Wade. Can't get it to go. Stoudemire keeps it alive for Dang.
Oh, that's right. He didn't have the offensive rebound tip back yet. Luol Deng. And there that one goes.
18 points for Luol Deng. 57-39, Miami. On the move, they get Marvin Williams involved, and he gets the bucket. Charlotte has 23 field goal attempts. They have 24 free throw attempts in this first half. And a timeout called with 4:36 remaining in the second quarter. Miami up on Charlotte, 57-41. It's game 1.
Well, Eric Spoelstra, head coach of the Miami Heat, had these guys prepped and ready. Just operating at an incredibly high level on the offensive end. Luol Deng, impact offensively. Dwayne Wade magnifying the strengths of his teammates, leading them on the bench, and then showing that anytime there's a mismatch, he's still capable of going down there and getting the job done. Eric Spoelstra at halftime, not a lot to talk about in terms of the adjustments Miami needs to make, just more about doing more of this in the second.
Eric Spoelstra has developed a close relationship with Chip Kelly, now the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Asked him where did the connection come from. He said, well, he's an Oregon guy, Spoelstra, Oregon football fan. During the NBA lockout, as Wade scores out of the timeout, Spoelstra had some extra time. He attended some Oregon football practices and was amazed at Chip Kelly's out-of-the-box thinking and just wanted to pick his brain. Batum, the jump shot is good. Nicholas Batum's got 19 points to lead Charlotte.
Another out-of-break possession for the Charlotte Hornets that ends up in the hands of Nicholas Batum scoring after Wade. You mentioned Spoelstra and the University of Oregon Ducks. I happen to go to Oregon State, so you lost me. Did you? You lost me after.
Did you hear anything I said?
I did not.
Jump shot doesn't go for Richardson. Knocked to the outside. Miami is crushing Charlotte off the glass. It is 21-5 in the rebounding category in favor of the Heat. Rolling to the rim. Stoudemire. Denied by Batum, but a foul. And a problem when Jeremy Lin is the Charlotte player protecting the rim off the roll by Stoudemire.
How about the fact that Miami has 6 offensive rebounds, and you just mentioned the Hornets only 5 defensive rebounds.
Total rebounds.
That's incredible. I mean, what a domination on the interior so far for the Miami Heat. And Charlotte is not this bad. They are one of the best defensive rebounding teams, at least defensive rebounding percentage teams in the league.
Now, Charlotte this season allowed an average of 40 points per game in the paint. Good for 3rd in the NBA. They've given up 30 in the first half alone. We still have 3:38 to play. Miami leads at 61-43. These two teams split the season series, each team winning on the other's home floor once. Batum clears it for Walker. Just 3 field goal attempts for Kemba Walker. Jump shot on the way. Doesn't go. Rebound Marvin Williams. Stripped of the ball by Wade. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Batum takes it in, draws the foul, delayed whistle. The first offensive rebound for the Hornets, and it turns into free throw attempts.
Another good job there by the Hornets, just staying in attack mode to try and get into the lane with Whiteside being out. And as I say that, Whiteside up off the bench to check back in for the final 3:11.
Second foul on Luol Deng. And 2 free throws here for Batum, who can crack 20 points in the first half with a make. Your teams, your highlights, your scores, all in one place. Download Team Stream, the free app from Bleacher Report, right now. Batum's an 85% shooter, 5 of 7 at the line. He splits a pair, 20 points for Batum, 61-44, Miami. Game 2 of this series will be Wednesday night here at American Airlines Arena. Wade picked up by Zeller, lob it inside, too easy. Whiteside on a switch.
Again, if Zeller holds for any half count or full count out there, and there's no way a little guy can contend with Whiteside over the top.
20-second timeout called by Charlotte. With 2:50 remaining in the first half, this has been an offensive clinic for the Heat.
As I was referring to with Whiteside on the roll, on this particular possession, you see Dwayne Wade on the curl here, coming over to the right side. Now this is the strong side. Whiteside follows up with a pick, but look at Jeremy Lin. He's got to come in here and bump. But you can't bump a guy 7'1" with that kind of length and then get out to Richardson. So it puts perimeter players. Lee has been in this position tonight. Kemba's been in that position. That time it's Lin. You can't contend with that kind of size. So the execution for Miami so far, precise.
Lee comes in, replaces Lin. 2:45 to play in the second quarter. Zeller hard to the hole. And Cody Zeller with the jam. The combination of Dragic and Wade, 10 assists and just 1 turnover in this first half. Wade to Deng. Extra feed. Lee closes in on Richardson, and he cans it. Josh Richardson, another rookie who is contributing for Miami.
It's the kind of defense you want to have there, chasing guys off the line, but it's been that kind of half for the Heat to have Richardson knock down a pull-up jumper.
It's a 19-point lead for the Heat. Walker missed it, and he knew it right away. Rebound cleared by Whiteside. Under 2 minutes to play. Get into a set with Whiteside setting the screen for Dragic. Again, Zeller comes over. Kick out for Richardson. Drives in, misses on the banker. Rebound secured by Zeller. Williams asking for it against Wade. Williams on a turnaround short.
Charlotte really just a tough first half offensively. Nowhere near what it is that they did during the regular season in terms of ball movement and finding above the break 3-point and catch and shoot opportunities.
Wade, kick out for Dragic. 5 to shoot. Richardson circles to the rim. Denied! Marvin Williams with a block. Out of bounds. 2.1 left on the 24.
Great job by Marvin just tracking this one down. You don't want that penetration from the wing getting to the middle of the floor, but Marvin times this one well with the right hand and throws it back to the Heat bench.
Udonis Haslem is checked in along with Gerald Green for Miami for the final 59 seconds of the first half. He will have to work quickly here. Richardson, the trigger man. And Spoelstra will call a 20-second timeout. Big lead for the Heat. They're trying to add to it when we come back. American Express halftime report. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, our own dream team in Atlanta with highlights and analysis all coming up. The American Express halftime report. Miami 65, Charlotte 46, 2.1 left on the 24 for Miami, 59 seconds to play in the second quarter.
I think Steve Clifford at halftime reminds the Charlotte team about Miami playing Boston last Wednesday and that 26-point deficit.
That was a collapse by Miami where they put up 5 points in the third quarter. Lob it in. Green looks at the clock, gets the shot off, and it clanks off the rim, rebounded by Zeller. They lost that game to Boston, yet they still maintain the number 3 seed. Batum, backdoor. Lee throws it up over the backboard. He draws the foul.
There's a look at that Miami. I guess you could call it a bit of a meltdown in that last game.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, wanting to secure the third spot, having that huge lead, and you mentioned those 5 points in the third quarter, which was a franchise low.
But amidst all that, Miami maintained the 3 seed. Charlotte ended up with the 6 seed. Atlanta the 4 and Boston the 5. The news earlier today that Avery Bradley is not expected to be a part of the Celtics the rest of this playoff series against Atlanta. That's a big hit. Brad Stevens talking to the media about the hamstring issue that Bradley had in game 1.
Team's second leading scorer and obviously a tremendous perimeter defender. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Boston makes.
65-48. Miami had a 2-for-1, didn't go for it. Wade on a turnaround. Bottom.
Always playing in his pace. Dwayne Wade knocks down the mid-range jumper on the spin.
Wade has 12. Miami has matched its largest lead, 19. 5-second difference shot clock. The game clock. We're winding down in this first half in South Florida. Walker takes the opening for the pull-up jumper. He cans it. But Miami has 8 seconds to work with. Charlotte does have a foul to give. 5 seconds left. And Batum gives it with 5.1.
Good communication there from Steve Clifford. It's always tough to do that, Ian, as regular game action is going on, to alert your players to do that. Certainly on a free throw attempt, not a problem, but coming up the sideline, Steve Clifford telling Batum one to give, and he takes it just past half court.
Five seconds on the clock. Dang against Williams. Dang fires short. And that's how this first half will end. Miami shoots 59%. They put up 67 points and they lead Charlotte by 17 at the break. We'll send it to Atlanta. The American Express halftime report coming up. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. Halftime of game 1. The Hornets and the Heat. Ready for the start of the second half in Miami, 67-50. The Heat in front of the Hornets. This Miller Time moment presented by Miller Lite. Ian Eagle along with Brent Barry, Rebecca Harlow as well. Well, for Miami, this is exactly what Eric Spoelstra hoped for. For Steve Clifford, not so much. They set the tone early, the Heat, and it was Luol Deng that continued to make shots. They executed at a very high level.
Unbelievable start for Deng, knocking down some threes, doing a little bit of everything, and then causing havoc on the defensive end. All of their versatility really shaking up that Hornet offense that never quite got on track. The one positive sign for the Charlotte team in the first half was Nicholas Batum, who ended up with 20 points and three-pointers, drives, getting into the lane. But the one statistic right now, I think, Ian, and I'm looking at is 0 assists for Batum. He averaged 5.8, most on the team this year during the regular season. And the second guy is their point guard, Kemba Walker, who averaged 5.2. Between the two of them, not one assist in the first half. That is not Charlotte Hornet basketball. They've got to find ways to see some gaps and start to get catch-and-shoot opportunities to get their rhythm going.
And Brent, as a team, the numbers are startling. 3 assists overall for Charlotte in that first half. Compare that to 14 for Miami.
That's a head-scratcher. Just 3 assists in a half.
Williams nearly lost it. 7 to shoot. Batum, nobody to pass to. And a turnover to open up the second half. As we check in with the third member of our crew, Rebecca Harlow.
Well, Ian caught up with Steve Clifford, and he said the first thing we have to do defensively is just establish a higher level of physicality and intensity, and that's what's going to give us a chance to play better. Specifically, he said on the pick, we have to pick up the roll man earlier, and we have to keep Miami out of the paint. But guys, remember this, the Hornets have comeback wins from down 20 against the Spurs, Kings, and Wizards this season. So he tells me that they're confident in this exact kind of scenario. Playoffs a different beast, though, guys.
All right, thanks very much, Rebecca. Dwayne Wade, that is a miss from three-point territory. You go back to December the 16th to find the last time Wade has made a three. He missed his last 20 in the regular season. Turnover. Wade on the push. Wade rimming out and rebounded by Zeller. Jump shot, Batum, side of the rim, and Dragic with the board. Faster pace from Miami as we saw post All-Star break. Dang! Can't miss! Luol Deng gives Miami its largest lead.
That's just crazy on the strong side, Ian, to give up the three-point shot and to give it up to a guy who's on fire in Deng. Marvin Williams with the short closeout.
21 points for Deng. 4 of 5 from three-point territory. Walker in a mismatch with Deng. Zeller sets the screen. Walker the corner jump. Zeller didn't go right back up with it. Sets it up for Walker, who doesn't get the roll. And Walker a little squeamish coming back up the floor. Dragic. Right side with the stuff. Marvin Williams tried to deny it. And everything is going Miami's way.
And Kemba's still looking over to the sideline and looking to Steve Clifford, not looking all that spry right now. Something up.
It's a 22-point cushion for the Heat. Williams. Whiteside with a rejection. Up the floor in a hurry. Deng switches hands. Oh, that was crafty. Luol Deng. A lot of smiles on that Miami sideline, and inside American Airlines Arena, it's a 7-0 spurt to start the third quarter. Miami up 74-50 on Charlotte. Frustration building for Charlotte and for Kemba Walker individually. Walker is 3 of 8 from the field, 9 points. And his team is down by 24 in the third quarter.
And there's got to be some kind of response, Ian, from this Hornet team and just the concepts and to try to carry out some of the game plan, which has not been evident at any point so far in this basketball game for the Hornets. I'd just like to see some emotion from some of these guys collectively, bring it together, try to cut into the lead, but at least execute some of the things you need to do, starting on the defensive end of the floor.
This team got swept by Miami 2 years ago in the first round. Foul called, Walker going to the rim. But Charlotte has drastically turned over this roster over that 2-year period. You've got Walker and you've got Jefferson. That's about it left over from that team that made the playoffs in Steve Clifford's first year as a head coach.
I think the idea too is that you've gone out and you've searched out, if you're Rich Cho and if you're Steve Clifford, known commodities in the league. You find Nicholas Batum, who had tremendous years up in Portland for the Trailblazers. You go and you get Courtney Lee, who's a veteran that has experience that we talked about in the first half, not going to make many mistakes. And then one of your own in Marvin Williams reinvents himself this year and comes back in great shape. So they've done an excellent job of changing the team over and playing to some more of their strengths.
Tack on Jeremy Lin. Signed a 2-year deal. He's got an opt-out at the end of this year if he wants it. And it's 74-52. Walker has cracked double figures. Double team on Johnson. Splits them. Deng has been red hot. Luol Deng! A long two-pointer. Luol is locked in.
Great job by Joe Johnson splitting that trap and then looking all the way across the court knowing Luol Deng was set up there.
25 points for Deng. He's 9 of 10 from the field. Zeller rolls to the rim. for the two-handed stuff.
And I believe Batum racks up his first assist on that one as he slips that pass to Zeller.
That is now 4 assists as a team for Charlotte. 18 for Miami. Dang defended by Williams on the outside. Johnson sets the screen. Now they switch. Williams with Johnson, Batum with Dang. The blitz from Zeller. Shot clock winding down. Johnson. Oh, that's a long way. Back of the iron. Rebounded by Whiteside. And he clears it.
Frustrating for the Hornets. You make a good defensive stand there, and the long one comes out to Whiteside's long arms.
Johnson puts it on the floor, takes it in for the scoop, and no resistance.
Well, everybody hugged up to their man thinking, if I don't let my guy score, we're okay. Well, if somebody scores, you're not all right. Joe Johnson slips in for 2.
Walker, the jab step, and he hands it right to Whiteside. High screen. The cutter. Wade leaves it off. And a good save there by Lee as Whiteside couldn't handle it. Miami shooting 60% from the field. Zeller gets to the hoop. And Cody Zeller, 9 points for Charlotte.
Marvin Williams moved out of the corner there, which released the help side defender for Zeller to get closer to the basket and past Whiteside.
Wade against Lee, 12 to shoot. We'll hit the 7-minute mark of this third quarter. One-on-one, Wade, hook it.
And don't you believe as the series goes on with people looking at the players involved that that's a huge advantage for what Miami can do. Both Wade and Joe Johnson creating shots out of broken possessions.
Lee against Wade, and something that Charlotte has not been able to do. Courtney Lee going high off the window.
Again, that's really not Charlotte's offense slipping in there and getting layups off the bounce. They are a catch-and-shoot team, just not finding those opportunities with this Heat D.
Whiteside, too strong, and the foul.
Well, the bench doing the flexing, but really Whiteside doing all the work here as he's able to get down low and pick that one up and then get through the contact for the dunk. Yep, that is Chris Bosh's uncle.
Whiteside missing at the free throw line. 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks for Whiteside, who's going to get a big contract when this whole thing is over. Lee leans in and swatted out of there by Whiteside. Johnson a fade. Rebounded by Walker. Walker drives in, draws the foul, a chance at a 3-point play for Kemba Walker.
Kemba seeing that Whiteside was slow to get back, and once he was able to get past him, he knew nobody's going to be at the rim. He slows himself down and makes a difficult off-balance jumper over the top of Dragic.
Josh Richardson in. Foul called against Goran Dragic, who will now sit for Miami. Walker with 13 points. Leading scorer is Batum for Charlotte with 20. Dang has 25 for Miami. 16 for Whiteside, 14 for Wade. Richardson, second round pick. Number 40 overall. Wade against Lee. High arcing delivery, Dwayne Wade.
Now, he just looks fantastic tonight, being able to get anywhere on the floor and everything, and just a great rhythm for him.
The fewest minutes per game that he's played in his career as Batum draws the foul. It will be Dang picking it up. It's number 3 on Luol Deng. Dwayne Wade, the most games he's played in the last 5 years. So Eric Spoelstra worked that throughout the season, limiting the minutes, but getting more out of Wade over the long haul. Look at the upcoming national television schedule. TNT tonight, 2 more games for you. It is a basketball fans bonanza tonight with Memphis at San Antonio and the Clippers hosting Portland here on TNT. NBA TV tomorrow night, Indiana at Toronto. The Raptors trying to get on the board with a win. For more on these games, go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Winslow is in for Dang. Jefferson replaces Zeller.
We were speaking about Dwayne Wade. He had set a personal goal this year of playing 75 games. He ended up playing 74, never in his career. He played 82 as Whiteside continues the interior domination, grabbing that lob. But 74 instead of 75 isn't that bad. And that one he missed, I think his son was in the hospital. It was against the Jazz, and so he feels like he made his mark.
Whiteside has 18 points, 9 rebounds for Miami. Looping feed for Williams. Tries a wild shot. It's denied on the inside. Bodies converging around the rim. Wade feeling it. Back of the iron. Long rebound to Whiteside. He's got a double-double. 86-62. Miami. Wade lobs it up. Whiteside can't finish. And a foul. And Whiteside in some pain.
You have a small guy down there on the inside. Big guys you should expect to get hit low. That's a good call from Kenny Maurer from the weak side, because Kemba was in that position that we talked about in the first half, where a perimeter player has to come down to bump Whiteside. Now he may not feel it from time to time, but impossible for a little guy to guard that size.
Eric Spoelstra said that Hassan Whiteside has made incremental improvements over the course of the 15 months that he's been a part of the Miami Heat. He said he's committed to the culture. And while he's starting now, basically he was a 6th starter in the minds of the Heat coaching staff, although they worked him back into the starting lineup at the tail end of the regular season. 19 points, 10 rebounds for Whiteside. And a breakout year. He had excellent numbers last season. The numbers have translated to wins this season. Batum trying to hit Lynn backdoor. And another turnover. 25-point lead. Whiteside short with a left hand. Jefferson the board. Charlotte trying to run. Batum for Williams. And a foul on the pass. 14th foul against Miami. 3:57 to go in the third quarter. It's Richardson picking up his third. Charlotte has it on the side with 18 to shoot. Batum fires the triple. He's got it.
Run that a couple times to Hornets, trying to find Nicola Batum off the quick screen, and he's knocked down some shots. So that three helps dent the lead just a little bit by Miami getting everything that they want here in their first home court game of the playoffs.
American Airlines Arena opened back in 1999 here in downtown Miami. Let's take a look at the game tracker presented by Domino's. Miami, the numbers have been constant throughout. 59% from the field. Charlotte has gotten its shooting percentage up to 46%. But the assist numbers and the points in the paint, no contest.
Well, I think the points in the paint throughout the series are going to always be Miami's. That's where they live, Ian. But one of the things that's fascinating so far to this point in the game is that Miami has shot 20 more shots. That's just not off the offensive glass. That's about their pace and moving the ball around and getting opportunities every time down the floor. So, 20 more attempts to this point in the game. There's no reason that Miami shouldn't feel as comfortable as they do.
It's a deep hole here for Charlotte. 22-point lead for the Heat. Dragic has 9 assists. The Hornets as a team have 6. Overplay by Batum. He's called for the foul. 13th foul against Charlotte. That is number 3 on Batum.
It's about the 6th time that they've run that possession for Joe Johnson to get it on the left side in the Malone spot, or where Melo likes to get the ball. They're waiting for him to make a move or get a screen from Whiteside to create some offense in that possession.
Miami went 16-8 with Joe Johnson in the lineup this season. Little floater from Justice Winslow in his first NBA playoff action. Winslow has come off the bench to score 6. 89-65 Heat. High screen Jefferson. Walker uses it. Step back jumper. Splash.
A little better activity there. Batum going over on the curl to the three-point line, and because he's made a few, it opens up space for Walker behind the screen.
16 now for Kemba Walker. Shot clock is down to 12. They spread it with 9 to shoot. Dragic lines it up. Back of the iron, and another offensive rebound for Miami. It's 30-15 off the glass in favor of the Heat, and 10 offensive boards. Richardson sticks the three. Boy, has he come around. Josh Richardson, a first-team All-SEC member last year as a senior at Tennessee. They got Winslow at 10, they got Richardson at 40, and both are contributing here in the playoffs. Jefferson ducks in, comes up short. No lift there for Jefferson. Dragic lobs it up. One side on a rack attack.
Steve Clifford wants a timeout as the Miami Heat are celebrating excellent execution and another big-time bucket from their big-time center, Hassan Whiteside.
It's been a basketball odyssey for Hassan Whiteside in Sacramento, the D-League, Lebanon, China. He's found a home in Miami.
And there's no doubt that they're happy to have him here. I mean, he's made a huge impact on this team, both defensively and, of course, now on the offensive end, becoming one of those guys, if he rolls hard to the rim where they're looking for him on every occasion. And what a big-time performance in his first ever playoff game to step up in the starting role. So many questions coming into tonight as to how the Heat would react to Whiteside being back in the starting lineup. Well, questions answered, at least for this one.
They've had no answers for Whiteside. 21 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals, and 94-67 Miami. Under 2 minutes to go now in the third. Walker using the Kaminsky screen. The rookie back in there for Charlotte. Six to shoot. Lynn drives on Dragic. Bounces for Kaminsky. Extra feed, running out of time. Jefferson beats the clock.
Well, it took a while, but the Hornets got the ball moved around the perimeter that time, and I thought Lynn coming off the screen had Kaminsky right away. You got to trust that your teammates can take those shots and knock them down to get you some confidence.
94-69 Miami. Johnson, drop step. Great move. Joe Johnson can create his own shot. Eric Spoelstra, when we asked him about Joe Johnson, he said, this is what I knew about him. We faced him in the playoffs twice, and we couldn't stop him. And we respected what he brought to the floor defensively in guarding LeBron James. Lynn is fouled. Jeremy Lin will shoot a pair.
Charlotte, you see Lynn when he comes off here, and I thought for sure right here, Kaminsky's open for that three-pointer, but he holds on to it a little bit longer, so Kaminsky gets involved with the cut and then makes the extra pass to Jefferson. But right away, crisp ball movement makes those defenders for the Heat have to react, and then you can make committed passes to your teammates. Again, that establishes some confidence.
A little more on Joe Johnson. Eric Spoelstra said his assistant head coach, David Fizdale, who was an assistant in Atlanta, spoke so highly of Johnson, his work ethic, his demeanor, and Fizz, as he's called, vouched for Joe Johnson, said he would be a perfect fit.
Spo also remembered a Hawks series and a Brooklyn Nets series where he had a real difficult time shutting down Joe Johnson.
Here's Winslow, giving it up. Give and go. Knocked away and last touched by Winslow. That is just the 5th turnover of the night for Miami. We've got 35.5 left on the clock. Walker A three. Kemba Walker, he was looking for a call. It's 96-74. The shot clock and game clock just about lined up. Half a second difference between the two. Dragic with Lin. High screen, Whiteside. 5 seconds left. Dragic makes his move. The flip, no, but a foul. Goran Dragic can crack double figures, already has 10 assists as he heads to the free throw line. There's no doubt the shift in style probably benefited Dragic more than any player on the Heat roster, getting back to what he did when he made a name for himself as a member of the Phoenix Suns.
The beginning of the year, Spo talked about with Bosh, with Wade, and with Whiteside in the starting lineup that they had some intricate defensive schemes that they were going to employ, and then the pace of the game was going to be something where they just wanted to control it with Bosh and Wade. But once he went down, they sort of released the dragon here. Opened it up, 17-6 since the break.
Walker at the buzzer. We head to the fourth, and Miami is in complete control. The Heat 97, the Hornets 74. This is the series opener. Eastern Conference first round series in the 3-6 matchup. It's all Miami right now. Hornets trying to turn the ship around as we start the fourth quarter. 97-74, Miami in front. Ian Eagle, Brent Barry, and Rebecca Harlow, the rest of our NBA on TNT crew, getting the playoffs underway in South Florida.
Miami may be cruising to this victory.
Ooh, I see what you did. Is that rehearsed material, Brent? Or is that off the top of your head? We start the fourth with Miami in possession. Dang against Kaminsky. Stoudemire, ball fake, kick out. Dang has been fantastic. It continues, and the foul. Luol Deng is smoking hot.
Well, Amari with the ball fake there. Kaminsky coming down on the double team and then closing out, hands in his face, and I think Lin picked up that personal foul. I still want to say dang, but I'm not.
No.
I'm not going to do it, Ian.
You know you're better than that.
Yeah, I won't do it.
Miami, 99 points. We are in the first minute of play of the fourth quarter. Lin, Batum, Kaminsky, Jefferson, and Lee, the five on the floor for Charlotte. Lin, the repost to Jefferson against Stoudemire. The turnaround, missed it badly. Lin, shot clock winding down. Batum lets it fly off the rim. Long rebound to Jefferson. Kaminsky, defended by Dang way outside. Batum seals off the area. Working around the perimeter. Lee leans in and he draws the foul.
Miami just doing a great job of scrapping around on that possession, as the Hornets really didn't have any assembly of what they wanted to run. They were looking for mismatches, and multiple passes ends up in a foul as Lee makes that pump fake.
Quiet night for Courtney Lee, 6 points. Lee now in his 8th year in the NBA. It's bounced around Orlando, the Nets, Houston, Boston, Memphis, and now Charlotte. Reggie Miller, our colleague here at TNT, was an early mentor for Lee growing up in Indianapolis. And knocks down a pair.
Starting to think, Ian, about what we've seen so far in this game, and if Charlotte, as they think about these matchups, will they go a little bit smaller? Or will they start playing Batum at the 4 as they're having to deal with the quickness of Miami?
7 to shoot. Richardson swings it. Dang. Back of the iron, but he's fouled. Kaminsky extending out on Luol Deng.
So it's a couple possessions now where Kaminsky's getting caught in closeouts or help situations where he has to go out to the three-point line with Deng. This time ends up fouling him behind the arc. And this is the kind of stuff where Eric Spoelstra is putting multiple wing players on the floor to play with Whiteside or Stoudemire, how much can Steve Clifford play guys like Kaminsky? You know, Marvin Williams has to be more active in games like this, but so far, Luol Deng has gotten the better of everybody tonight.
Deng misses on the first attempt. That's the only place that he has struggled a little bit, at the free throw line, where he's 3 out of 5. Marvin Williams, 25 minutes, 1 of 7 from the field. And Deng will get a third free throw. He now has 28 points. Miami with a 100-76 lead on Charlotte. Winner of this series will play the winner of the Toronto-Indiana series, 1-0. The Pacers getting the road victory to open up that best of 7. Whiteside, Johnson, Wade, all on the bench. Game 2 in this series isn't until Wednesday, so plenty of rest coming up for the likes of Wade and Johnson. Both are 34 years old. Jefferson against Stoudemire, 6 to shoot. Loses the ball. Stoudemire holding his ground defensively. Richardson leads Miami down the floor with 15 to shoot. Richardson rims out. Rebounded by Batum. Just the second rebound for Nicholas Batum. Averages 6.1 per game. Same spot for Jefferson. This time the drop step. Goaltending.
Al Jefferson not wasting time that time, gets the baseline spin, and Amare gets up and shovels that away, but definitely a goaltend.
9 points off the bench for Al Jefferson in 19 minutes of action. And a foul out front on Jeremy Lin. 9:45 mark of this fourth quarter. Since February 1st, Charlotte went 25-9, third best record in the NBA over that span, behind Golden State and San Antonio. Dragic hooks a pass inside. Deng the extra feed. Richardson back of the iron. Lee closed out on defense. It's an offensive rebound for Miami.
How many of those long rebounds have we seen? And that's at least the 5th one that's come off the back, and the Heat have tracked those down.
Dragic, the jump shot doesn't go.
Make
Another long rebound tip.
Make it 6.
That's not an instant replay. It's happened over and over again. Offensive rebounds are now 12-2 in favor of the Heat.
Even the Heat's misses are good.
Richardson the jumper. And this time Lin helps out Stoudemire, got a piece of it. 5-on-4, Stoudemire a little late to get back. Early offense, Jefferson scores on the interior.
Good patience as Lin saw the trailing Jefferson. And you mentioned Amare not able to get back for that layup.
So Jefferson now in double figures with 11. Stoudemire gets a touch on the perimeter. Dragic comes to the ball, switch back, 7 to shoot. 8:34 to play in the fourth. Shot clock winding down for Deng. Lost it, got it back for the fade. Luol Deng! He owns the night. 31 for Deng.
He's been awesome. Just awesome.
Lin on the move, lays it in.
And also important right now, Richardson, first playoff game. Winslow, first playoff game. For those guys to get some minutes, the first playoff start for Dragic. These guys to be out there and just kind of take some deep breaths, execute against this Hornet team, familiar faces across from them. Important minutes.
Deng coughs it up. 103-82. Miami's largest lead has been 27. A lob for Jefferson. The cut. Kaminsky can't finish. And a foul called. We get a timeout with 7:37 left in the fourth.
Well, Luol Deng for the Miami Heat has put up the big number tonight. 31 points thus far. And Miami real comfortable here at home.
Now for the Degree deodorant game-changing moment. Luol Deng.
It had to be that first quarter, Ian, where the team got off to that 41-22 advantage. And you don't expect perfection, but he certainly got it from the field, 5 for 5, and scoring 14 points.
His career playoff high is 33, has 31 tonight. Dang did that as a member of the Chicago Bulls against Miami back in April of 2007. Let's get more from Rebecca Harlow. Rebecca?
Well, and it's a very happy birthday for Luol Deng, who turned 31 yesterday. And when I sat down with him, he said, you know, when we picked up the pace here, it's just allowed me to play that much more freely. He said it's really opened things up. I've been thinking less and just getting out there and playing more. And Ian, you mentioned those 31 points that he's got right now. That is a Heat record for most points in a Heat playoff debut. So big night here for Deng.
No doubt. Now in his 12th year in the NBA. The versatility revealing itself this year more than ever, playing the 4 spot. Rimming out. Deng is human.
Too bad he didn't turn 34. He was on 31 and he turned 31.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be cool if he could
shoot
his number.
Symmetry.
No?
Well, maybe he's just going to stick on 31.
I don't think he wants to.
True. Jefferson, no good. And it's rebounded by that man, Deng, who's got 7 boards. Stoudemire with Jefferson. Wade getting ready to check back in. Nearly intercepted. Winslow thought about it. Drives in on Kaminsky. The help from Jefferson. Sticking with the play. Winslow gets the bounce. Charlotte has lost 10 straight playoff games. Now, those teams have nothing to do with these teams. Jefferson with the bucket. But the losing streak will hit 11 in a row, barring a miracle in this 4th quarter.
Interesting to see that Steve Clifford had Zeller, Kemba Walker, and Marvin Williams up, thinking about subbing them back into this basketball game, and I wonder if he's decided against that.
Stoudemire. Jefferson used the body. Stoudemire hits on the fadeaway. Amari Stoudemire now with 6 points in 15 minutes. Lynn, the dribble drive. Offensive foul. And it was blatant. Winslow took the hit. Fourth foul on Jeremy Lin. 5:29 to go in the 4th. Miami up big. Back in Miami, Skeets, Tass, Trey, and Lee are the starters. Facial hair, Brett. Lots will break down the NBA weeknights on NBA TV.
That might be Trey's uncle. We're not sure.
Is that?
So very, very similar beard formation.
And you are a big part of the starters.
I'm a very, very small part on Mondays and appreciate those guys having me on every week.
It's a great segment. It's a fantastic show.
They'll appreciate that, Ian.
107-84 Miami. The spin by Stoudemire and the foul. Turn back the clock. Amari Stoudemire taking it with a man's move.
Maybe a lesson learned here for Cody Zeller. If you're sitting on the bench and you're coming back in the game, for guys who've been playing and have something to play for here, you better be ready. Stoudemire with a quick move and getting the N1 chance here.
9 points for Amari Stoudemire in 16 minutes of action. We'll hit the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. So Kemba Walker back in. Zeller, Lynn, Batum, and Williams, the 5 on the floor. Batum misses on the runner. Winslow took a shot. Joe Johnson back in along with Dwayne Wade for Miami. Skip pass. Wade gives it up. Johnson sets the feet. Fires. Bottom. It's a 3.
Josh Richardson's decision to pass that ball while he was in the air helped make that ball get over to Joe Johnson just that much faster. Great ball movement from the Heat.
And now Steve Clifford is going to make changes. Next dead ball. Walker to the rim. And that's their night in a nutshell. Help from Zeller. It leaves Stoudemire free. The flush for Stoudemire. 5 Heat players in double figures. Miami's got a 31-point lead in Game 1 of this opening round series. Hassan Whiteside. Yep. Count them. Ernie, thanks very much. Luol Deng, a standout tonight for the Miami Heat. 31 points. Whiteside with 21 points and 11 rebounds. You mentioned the experience of San Antonio. Dwayne Wade making his 153rd career playoff start. And both coaches have made major changes on the floor. Hawes is in. Daniels is in. Gutierrez is in. Daniels' jump shot doesn't go. Hansbrough is in for Charlotte, and Jeremy Lamb as well.
I mentioned that Wade 153 starts, Ian. How about that Charlotte in total has 123 playoff starts?
Changes for Miami. McRoberts and Green both in, along with the veteran Darrell Wright. Richardson remains on the floor, and Joe Johnson also in there. Lamb to the hoop, off the window. It's 115-86. 46 made field goals. That's a new franchise playoff record for Miami. They've got 115 points. Their playoff record is 121 in the NBA Finals against Oklahoma City 2012. Johnson back in on Daniels and misses it. Leaks out to Gutierrez. And it looks like they're going to get Joe Johnson out of the game as well. Next dead ball. Off the double team. Hawes. That's a 3. Spencer Hawes has been slinging it from long range for 9 years in the league.
Well, Spencer, a capable shooter, and really this year he spent a lot of time just helping Frank Kaminsky stay confident for the minutes that he's been given from Steve Clifford.
Deontay Weber getting ready to check in for Miami. 5 to shoot. Right, pump fake. He thought Hansbrough would be there. It doesn't matter. Darrell Wright drains it from the outside. And a foul given. Joe Johnson will head right to the bench for Miami. It's time for the stat of the night, presented by Corona Extra.
Again, Miami really the tale of 2 seasons, Ian, that we talked about with Chris Bosh's injury. Eric Spoelstra and his staff going to work in the chemistry lab and thinking about speeding up the game, and they've unlocked some potent offense here. Tonight, 117. They're close to a record.
Deontay Weber is now in, 4 points away from that record. Hansbrough touched it last. Dwayne Wade, 16 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Winslow in his playoff debut, 8 points, 4 rebounds. Doing it all without Chris Bosh. They went 19-10 without Bosh, 29-24 with him. Green misses from the outside. Lamb, tight defense there from Green. We're down to 1:40 to go. Lamb to the hoop, layup, no good. Knocked out of bounds, last touched by Hansbrough.
I wonder if Jeremy Lamb has a place in this series with the trouble they have with Deng. Do they play small? He had some good moments this year. 27 games in double figures, showed that he's a capable scorer, but it's about establishing some trust with Steve Clifford and playing some defense. Interesting if he'll get some minutes.
McRoberts, Duke against North Carolina out front with Hansbrough. Richardson inside the arc. And it's rebounded by Lamb. Lamb averaged just under 9 points per game during the regular season. Was not as big a part of the rotation late. Take it away. Weber up the floor. Darrell Wright gets it back. Pump fake on a 3. Now he'll fire it and connects. 120 points for Miami with 1 minute to play. 57% shooting, 47% from three-point range. Daniels missed it, short. Weber to the hoop, kick out, right, he's got it! It's a new playoff record for the Miami Heat. They have produced 123 points in the series opener against Charlotte. Gutierrez, the hesitation jumper, no. Weber couldn't grab it. And the Hornets will retain it with 31 seconds left.
Interesting question now for Steve Clifford and his staff. Do you go back and revise the game plan, or do you stick with what you thought you could do coming in, even though maybe you never saw it? You never saw it take fruition because of the 41-point first quarter as Hawes misses that one.
Rebounded by Lamb. Lamb to the hoop with 21.8 left on the clock.
There are definitely some plays that Miami was running in this game that are going to be problematic throughout the series, posting Wade and posting Johnson. But what a night for the Heat.
Miami will dribble out the clock. A strong statement in the series opener. The Heat defeat the Hornets 123-91. Coming up next, game 2 of our triple header. The Mavs and the Spurs in game 1 of that series. Brent Barry, Rebecca Harlow, the rest of the crew, Ian Eagle. Good night from Miami. Ernie Johnson coming up in the Atlanta studio.